Hello and good evening, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to the Magical Coffee Hour. If this is your first time, greetings. I'm Drake. um, if you are new here and you enjoy occult content, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're notified anytime we release a new video, usually every Tuesday, or go live here on Magical Coffee Hour on most Sundays. All right. I hope everybody has had a great week. I know I have. It has been a very busy week. I've been doing a lot in shooting footage for the evocation course. So I'm actually looking forward to that. This has been one of the this has been a tricky course. It's like everything that can go wrong will go wrong, but it's been progressively getting there, and I'm very happy about that. Uh, Immortal, good to see you. Creator, welcome. Maria, good to see you. Blue Star, welcome. Luna Fang, welcome. Uh, Orion, welcome. Vicky, welcome. Also, I've been asked for certain links at the start, so they're easy to find. So I'll go ahead and get those on here. Why will it not let me put my own links in there? This is gonna. Maybe I won't. Oh, that's why. There's too many of them. Okay. Maybe I won't. We'll try that again next week. Or hold on. Maybe I can try this. Let's do this. Yeah, here we go. Let's try that. I totally don't know what I'm doing if y'all haven't figured that out yet. At least on tech. There we go. That should have done it, maybe, possibly. There it is. Yep, there's the Working Dragon Mystic stuff. That is the online school page, of course, the website, and our new Rumble link should all be there, hopefully, if it worked correctly. We'll see if it worked correctly. Jade, if it didn't work correctly, maybe you can fix me. Violet Star, good to see you. James, or Jams, welcome. Let's see, creator Drake, can you use baneful magic for self-defense? If so, any simple spell work you can post in a video. Um, I mean, you can use baneful magic for self-defense. Baneful magic is magic that would cause harm. Self-defense, you're going to be doing some form of harm in many cases. So it would depend on what your goal is. But if you have any type of remorse, any type of compassion, any of that in the concept of what you're doing, baneful magic won't work. It must be pure. It must be, yeah. So it's a very, very tricky. Baneful magic is not the easiest to use for self-defense. Actually, it's not the easiest magic to do. In fact, it's one of the hardest magics to do. There's this concept that people are running around causing doing baneful magic accidentally. It really does not work that way. So could you do it? Yes. Would it be practical? Not really. There's so many varieties of other magics that would be far more effective in a self-defense scenario. But that might be a good thing to do video on creator, and actually maybe in a roundtable on baneful magic might be helpful. So that'd be pretty cool. I'll see what I can do about that. And yes, join the gilded community too. There, we have a wonderful gilded community. A lot of people on there get on, help, check out, encourage each other, share what they're working with. Jay just shared the link there. Let's see here. Drake, are there any dragons that help with sex magic? Actually, there are. If you get into Dragon Magic 101 and 102 that follows it, in 101 that's touched on a little bit within the four rulers. And then in 102, there are dragons that specifically focus into those categories because in 102 is when you really dive in and start working deep with what is known as specialty dragons. So some of those definitely do. That would be the easiest way. I can't go into too much detail here. Hi, Drake. Uh, let's see. What does the runes mean in your tattoo on your arm? Is it for protection? Actually, it's the entire Elder Futhark. Well, let's see. Camera, you're being a pain. I can't get my arm up there. Uh, there we go. It's just the entire Elder Futhark. Do I occasionally charge them and use them for different things? And were they charged when I was getting the tattoo? Yes. Do I usually recommend magical tattoos? No, because there's so many things that can go wrong because you and the artist have to both be in conjunction. You have to really be able to trust that artist and all those wonderful things. Um, and honestly, I know a lot of great artists that I will not trust them as part of my magic. So that's why I usually don't. And there's a lot that can go wrong in there if you're not careful. But as far as my personal tattoo, it is the full Elder Futhark. I made sure to get them all, and I use it for different things at different times. Each one was charged during the making. Me and the tattoo artist worked very close on that. In fact, each of these runes is even in my handwriting. So if I was to actually write the Elder Futhark out, it would literally be this. These are even in my actual handwriting. So they're in my flesh, they're in my blood, they're in my handwriting. So but that also allows me to customize their uses daily and stuff like that, um, which is something I've considered talking about and how I did it, why I did it, and going into detail in either a video or as part of the Norse course once we start filming it. But yeah, I know a lot of people expect there to be like some great like text of wisdom or something on my arm. It's not. It was more of a um, arcanum spell tool concept, as well as the runes and everything does mean a lot to me, and there's a there is a meaning to it that's personal on a personal side as to what also led me to do it, because every tattoo I have has some meaning to my life story, but this is also a functional one. So there we go. um And again, if all of you, anyone here is new or interested in Dragon Magic, do check out the online school. Dragon Magic 101 and 102 are already up there. 101 is perfect for beginners. So if you're just getting started and you're interested in Dragon Magic, that is the ideal place to get started. 102 proceeds and follows that class. And in the near future, for those of you who have already done 101 and 102, which those classes will take you about 2 years to complete fully if you do them correctly. But 103 should be coming in the next year or so. So keep an eye out for that. I know a lot of very few people's actually fully completed 102. Everybody's been taking their time working with those specialty dragons. I've been getting a lot of wonderful feedback. So it is great to see so many people getting so much from those classes. Thank you very much. Um, let's see where. Oh crap, we're behind. I should also let you all know to stay tuned because Jade has some wonderful kitchen witch videos coming next month. She got inspired and she's going to be shooting a few videos for the channel, which is also going to help take some load off of me so that I can get caught up on some stuff I'm behind, like the evocation course, for an example. Also, if you're interested in kitchen magic, she has a live workshop at the online school coming up later this month. Be sure you sign up for that one if you are interested. There are limited seats. Um, so that link I put at the top for the online school, make sure you go there and sign up if you're interested in it. It will be a full live workshop with Q&A, and even if you can't make it at the time the workshop goes live, there will be a recorded replay for note taking and whatnot if you make the course, or if you miss it, you can still rewatch it and take your notes. Okay, so honestly, those are one of the best ways to get. It's like being in a classroom with us. It's they've been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to getting back into those myself. Um, let's see, where was I? I'm in Gilded. Um, you don't need to do baneful magic to do protection magic. So I mean, there's rarely need for baneful magic, though I do encourage my students to study it and understand it, much for the self defense concept. Um, Go Diego, go. Why does that sound familiar? Um, Hey Drake, love the videos. Do you have a technique for entering your void state? Depends on how you define the void state, because I'll be honest with you, Diego, there is at least 50 different definitions I have heard for the term void state, and they're very different in use. It's kind of getting annoying how overused that label is. So if you could give me more example of specifically what you mean, um, because some people use it for mindless, blank mind meditation. Some people use it for um, actually crossing the void, which is a far more complex concept than just a meditation or trance state, which some people try to make it as simple as that. It's not, I wish. Some people refer to it as a trance state. They call void state trance. Again, different. So yeah, it would depend on that. Um, Tameless, I have Dragon Magic 101. Awesome. Mugs up to you. Hope you're enjoying it. Loonfang, I'm thinking of working with runes. Do you recommend? I absolutely love runes. I really do. I did a short rune magic course on the channel. We tried to see how we could do with a YouTube style course. It was a short one. YouTube didn't let me do everything I wanted to do. Um, I do have a Norse course coming out. Runes will be discussed in that. And we are discussing whether or not we want to do a course specifically focused on the runes in detail, so that, it's not just hidden away in the Norse magic course. And that way the Norse section could cover the generals of rune magic, but then the rune magic course could go deeper um, without overloading the Norse course, because there's a lot in Norse magic beyond runes. Um, but I do recommend. It's a system of magic I love. I mean, I got them tattooed on me, obviously. So rune magic, Norse magic, and dragon. Well, dragon magic and Norse magic are the two main. Rune magic is a sub of Norse magic. So um, those are two of my main areas. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it if you're interested. Just do your research and um, yeah, pay attention, because a lot of people try to work with runes as if they're tarot cards. They are far, far more than tarot cards. Um, do you have any tips for how to travel, like literally make your soul exit your body? And can you meet dragons that way? Although, are there any risks involved? There's major risk with soul travel. So with soul travel, as you said, you literally, instead of just your consciousness, it's your entire essence leaving your body. And because of that, pain, injury, and everything are very, very real. Your brain will not know the difference between you being stabbed in soul travel and you being stabbed in real life. It would have no difference. And in fact, when you do return, you would very likely see a heavy reddening where you got injured. And because of this, it's drove a lot of people insane due to the pain that they experience during soul travel. If they're set on fire, they fall into lava, they drown. There's all these little things. Because it is so real, the brain can no longer separate it, which is an issue with astral travel. Um, as to tips, that is a far more complex one. And I've been trying to think of a way to articulate tips on stuff for soul travel in a quick video or whatnot. And I'm because if your arcane sight and your arcane hearing and your arcane touch are not actually up to snuff, and if you can't maintain focus without interruption or disruption um, for a minimum of 15 minutes, um, then honestly, even beginning soul travel is very, very difficult. I got one student, like meditation, spell working, all this stuff, they're really, really, really good at, and they wanted to learn soul travel. They can do astral work just fine, but the moment it comes to soul travel, the differential, it just they struggle with it. Um, Quick tips, I don't know that I have them. Honestly. It is a tricky one. It is a very tricky one. And I am working, Vitki, to find ways to articulate it. And I've even been trying to contemplate if there's a way to do a video course that would do it justice. And I've even been contemplating doing live workshops on it, because one of the things I found with a technique like soul travel, you really cannot teach it well in a video course or a book, because I can walk you through the techniques, but there's so many like person to person questions and tweaking that really needs to be done to really get the most out of it, that a book or pre-recorded video course just seems to fall flat time and time again. So I'm leaning toward doing soul travel as a regularly scheduled live um, workshop at the school. Um, that is actually one of the hardest ones for me to film, because that one for me is the one where I sit down and work so closely with my one-on-one students. I will make a note of that, Vitki, because I'm still trying to articulate it just to even get a quick video to give some tips. And I'm having a really hard time articulating that one because I lose that personal connection. I do apologize for that. Um, let's see. Thank you for sharing the link to the school, Jade. That would be very helpful since I mentioned that to them. And how can you distinguish between lucid dreams and soul travel? In soul travel, you will never be in a sleep state, period. If you are asleep, you will not enter soul travel, period. You can't. It will be a lucid dream always. Soul travel can only be done in the awakened, conscious, mindful state. If you fall asleep, you will not soul travel, period. So if you're asleep, it's a lucid dream. And anytime you, even if it's astral or lucid dreaming, you will be within the dream realm. You can't exit the dream realm while sleeping. It's a screwed up situation. That's not to say you can't get a lot out of lucid dreaming, because the dream realm can largely shape any way you want it to, but it still requires a lot of interpretation, a lot of other things. It has limitations. That's why I don't really like it. But for a lot of people, they enjoy it. But there is a very, very definite differential there. You can't soul travel while asleep. Uh, lucid dreams can feel more real than reality. That makes absolute sense to me. Yep. Um, I know it sounds weird and rambling or heavy. No, I've had someone. And don't worry about the rambling. I mean, listen to my explanation to why I'm having trouble giving tips on soul travel so much. It's and I did my best to answer the question, but I also felt a little rambly doing it. So no worries. Uh, Creator. Yeah, when it comes to tattoos, I'd be very, very careful, because if they become energetically charged, which is very possible with any tattoo you get, there's going to be energy there. Your body literally sends energy to the tattoo, regardless of if it's an occult tattoo or not. So when it comes to an occult tattoo, seal, or whatnot, you do need to be very, very careful, very, very considerate of where you get it, why you're getting it, those concepts. And you need to make sure that this is something you truly want um, bound to your blood. Because if you think, like, I know some people who have gotten like goetic symbols, and then they're like, well, I tried to do a cleansing or a banishing, but I can't get rid of it. No shit, Sherlock. Look at the tattoo on you. It's literally bound in your blood. You cannot banish or cleanse yourself from your own house, and you literally put that into you. So you can't banish and cleanse it now. Congratulations, you're stuck with it forever. And even tattoo removal won't get rid of it, because it'll get rid of the image and it won't even get rid of it permanently. but it's still part of you because even the scar tissue from having it removed is still going to make it present. So I'm one who very much does not recommend many occult tattoos in general. And if you do get them, you put serious thought into it. Very serious thought. As to the Dragon's Eye seal, until you complete Dragon Magic 104, I would not get that tattooed. I'll be honest with you. If you have not completed Dragon Magic 104, do not get the Dragon's Eye seal as a tattoo because there are energy patterns and concepts within that seal that deals with things that go all the way into 104. And if you haven't worked with those currents and you're tattooing those currents to you, it's going to cause problems in life, period. Just so you know. And I don't mean like little problems, I mean big problems. Um, Hope that helps. Oh, crap, we jumped. We jumped. Tommy. Hey, Tommy. Don't see a name that simple too often. Well, okay, we got Maria, and she's right about you, so occasionally we get simple names. Let's see. Thank you so much for the amount of knowledge you give us. Do dragons have uns or mantras for people to use? Would it be disrespectful to call on a dragon/entity if you don't know them? Well, interestingly enough, dragons can be a little tricky to call. They do not use uns. In fact, the uns we have for demons were man-made. Sorry to say. That's the reason, like, you can 12 uns to the same entity. A lot of people try to post them as this is the one true un. They're not. Have dragons ever given any incantations or whatnot to help with dragon magic? Yes, they have. I know I was given the rights to share it in Dragon Magic 101. So that would be the best place to get it, would be to go there. I don't know if I've shared it in another video. The spelling of it and everything's kind of important, which it is in that video. But it's more of an incantation, a general purpose based draconic incantation. And it hopefully you got your speakers on, but it would be, and I can tell you right now, it's not going to, if you got captions on, it ain't going to spell it right. Never does. Thank my Southern, right? But it would be Draconis Balash Lux Tenebris. Would be a general incantation. As to, is it disrespectful to call an entity if you don't know them? How do you expect to get to know them if you're not going to call on them and get to know them, right? Now, should you call on a dragon or an entity and say, hey, you, go do this for me, right? Go on. No, that's pretty freaking rude. In fact, you're not going to get good results. And some entities will downright backlash on you if you just, hey, you. But if you start calling them, work with them, learn from them, get to know them and build a friendship with them, absolutely no issues at all there. That's the only way you get to know a person is actually take the time to work with them. So yeah. And if you're interested in dragons, if you haven't, Tommy, go over to the online school. You'll find the link below most of the videos. There's also at the top of the chat, I dropped it. And you can find the courses also at workingdragonmystic.com. All those would be places you could locate and check out Dragon Magic 101. It is hands down going to give you everything you need to get started in working with dragons. Let's see, where was I? Hey, Angela, you made it. Mugs up. Gotta have my hat. That's where I keep all my superpowers. Let's see. What a person gets tattooed is their personal choice. I mean, I said what I said about occult tattoos, and I will stand by that. I mean, you'll most people are surprised to find out I have very few occult tattoos on me. In all honesty, all my tattoos are more about my life. It's like a living journal for me. They do all have great meaning. This arm is largely to do with family. But I mean, You got to look at what you want. As far as tattoos of dragons, I've seen a lot of beautiful dragon tattoos. Would I ever get like the sigils of the rulers, or would I get the rulers' names, or even the images of the rulers tattooed on me? No, because that is a form of energy you do not want bound to you in that capacity long term. And you couldn't really get the ruler's tattoo without drawing in too much of that energy. Also, unless you are literally having 9 artists work on you at once and you have the full details of all 9 and they're all completed in unison, you're going to be out of balance. As yeah, it would be bad. It would be bad. I personally wouldn't do it. What you do for you in your life, that's your choice. Everyone here knows I'm a big believer in free will, free choice. You do you. Um, uh, be honest with you, I don't know how to spell it off memory. I have it in journals for a reason, mate. And I do not have my journal close enough. It is in the Dragon Magic 101 course. And I actually will have to run it by the dragons to see if I can share it on YouTube, because I don't remember one way or the other. I know it was a demand that I put it in the course because it was that important to them. Um, but I don't know if I put it in a video anywhere. I know I can say it. I know I can share and talk about it. It's the specifics of the spelling and stuff. So I'd have to double check on that one, creator. Um, uh, it's a little more than just a dedication, Angela, but it would be similar to a dedication for sure, because you are essentially dedicating your physical life to them, because there is going to be a permanent link there within your bloodstream. And that's a pretty serious deal. Um, and I get it. I know a lot of people's afraid of the tattoo machine. I get it. Clearly, I'm not. I mean, clearly, I've actually got a few ideals I'm already considering for some new ones. Doo-doo. So I can't say much. I mean, I love them. I love them. I'm a big believer every tattoo should have a true meaning to it. That's my personal belief. But then I have a lot of friends. They will just randomly get tattoos at random on a whimsy. They will get tattoos that are on sale. That makes no sense to me. They will go and it's like, this tattoo's on sale. Get it. They check it off. You get the that makes no sense to me. But it ain't me. It ain't my body. You do what you want to do. If that's how you want to do it, and you get a quick little random tattoo, nothing says it. Nothing says anything's wrong with it. I Tattoos are a way to express oneself and to um, um, immortalize certain memories and things. And different people can use them in different ways. Some people just use them almost like makeup, and there's nothing wrong with that. Um, but you got to definitely, make sure you know what you're doing, because they are permanent. And believe me, having them removed hurts. I've seen some of the toughest sons of bitches I know cry like a baby over getting a tattoo removed. It's actually kind of funny. I've never had one removed, so I can't speak personally. I don't know how I'd do it. Let's see, what was it? You don't do well with needles. It's really not a needle. But that's another story for another time. I want the area to be numb as hell. I can't do needles. I never met a tattoo artist that numbs it. In fact, I'm under the impression they can't numb it. Would be part of it. Um, See, Immortal, I think about mine for months or years before I get them. They are me if it makes it. There you go. Just get what you get what makes sense. I know my wife's been kicking around an idea for 4 years now. Um, so I mean, my last one was actually the scale pattern that goes around the other tattoos on this arm. Um, and it was extremely hard to find an artist who would do it the way I wanted, because most scale patterns are just copy of a copy of a copy. I wanted it to look extremely organic, and to do that, he basically had to do every scale individually and design each one individually so it fit and would move together. Um, so yeah, it was very tricky, but he got it. He got it. Hello, Drake. Go, Diego, go. Probably sounds familiar to you because it was a spin off. That's what it is. My nephew's in that Dora the Explorer thing. Thank you. That's why it sounded familiar. I never actually watched it myself, but that's why it sounded familiar. Hauntingly familiar. Just off in the background. Something you know, but you never really saw. You know what I mean? That's why. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. At least I knew I wasn't crazy. Appreciate that. Let's see. Star Creator. On Soul Travel, would it be possible to summon your guardian dragon, co-magician, and would they travel with you? Honestly, I've never had to summon them. They've always just traveled with me if they wanted to, or if I wanted them to. My guardian and co are like around the house 24/7, so I don't even have to summon them here, for better or worse, what that's worth. Uh, they love to play pranks and jump scares. They're really good at the jump scares too. Um, they like to move sounds around to places where sounds shouldn't be coming from, which is always fun. But they're always here, so I've never had to summon them. In the few times where I have ever they weren't present wherever they were, all I had to do was call their name, and then they were there. And in Soul Travel, yeah, same thing. They will definitely travel along with you, which can be a lot of fun. I've spent a lot of time wandering different planes and different realms and stuff, and they were with me the whole time, which is for me a lot of fun. It's one of my. I wish I had more free time to spend in Soul Travel these days. It's kind of weird because when you come that professional occult position thing, you lose a lot of free time for your own free stuff because you're creating the content for other people to learn. And that's okay with me because that is kind of what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to leave a legacy of information to help others achieve what I did or more. Because ultimately, when I'm gone into the great by and by, I'd love to see mages who continue and go far beyond what I'm able to do in my lifetime. Um, but ugh, it's kind of the give and take, because you go get a jobby job and then you have more time to do your personal occult stuff, but then you do it's the trade off. And I'm rambling. I'm just going off and rambling. Let's see, Vitke, do dragons that work with care if I leave little offerings for the little ones that jump around too? Because I've noticed they sniff around offerings I leave for my guardian and Comag. They wouldn't mind if you left a little something extra for the little ones, because like I know it's guardians definitely often get stuck with babysitter duty of the little tiny ones. And the co's also help to protect them. Lord help anyone who ever even attempts to hurt them. But they wouldn't mind, though. At the same time, I will say the guardians are more than happy to share whatever you leave for them with them. It's kind of part of the babysitter gig. Like the babysitter don't get fast food if the kid ain't eating. You know how that goes. But they wouldn't mind if, as long as it's just, hey, I don't want to leave you out. Don't make it in a way that you're trying to work with the little ones, because the little ones aren't supposed to be working with humans. That's kind of a weird thing, but as long as it's just like a, hey, I'm leaving something for you. If there's any little ones here, here's their little thing. That'd be fine. Um, I've done it from time to time. Meaning butterflies for change and transformation. Those are good ones. I've seen a lot of gorgeous butterfly tattoos. I don't personally have one. Now I do have a tattoo for balance. I was wanting a yin yang tattoo, and I didn't want just a standard one, and I wanted one for balance. Um, And I went through several iterations until I settled on the one I ended up with, which is partially inspired by my guardian dragon. So, but it's not literally meant to represent my guardian. It's meant to represent balance and things and on your path. And actually, since it represents balance and path, it's actually one of the only tattoos I currently have on my leg. So even its position has meaning. Let's see. Well, crap. We jumped on him. Oh yeah. Like I said, I've had them share food all the time. It's not uncommon at all for that to happen. I mean, it's polite, and maybe that's just because I'm Southern, and hospitality and sharing food, and those kinds of things are just like written into our genetic doctrine or something. But I mean, it made sense to me that they'd be sharing it. And anytime I'm aware they're there, I usually put out like an extra little bit of coffee or water or whatever I'm doing, if I'm doing anything, because I don't often do offerings or stuff like that unless it's a special occasion. Like for the holidays, if I make dinner for the family, since they're family, they would get some of that. Again, but then I like steer so clear of anything that might be viewed worship that it's redonkulous. Like I said, this ain't worship. This is just simple. Hey, thank you for what you're doing. Which if I get a specific request, like with Expo and Well, he'll be like, sure, I'll help you out with this. Hey, can I get some pork rinds? Sure, I'll make sure he gets him some pork rinds. Don't blame me, pork rinds are good. But yeah, so yeah, and they would happily share it. They always do. That's just something those little guardians are good at. I have seen my co not share his wine with them. Like he will literally like flunk them on the head and like they can't have that, which is kind of interesting. Which that's raised so many questions in my head. Like, can little dragons not handle wine? I mean, because it doesn't seem to be the case. Are you just being greedy and not wanting to share your wine? It could be that. Which, to be fair, no reason to share his alcohol if you don't want to. It's his. Um, um, Dragons in general like shinies. That they just really do. See. Fitky, of course. Would love anything you give them. Yeah, if it's in friendship, they'll treasure it and love it. Uh, we keep jumping, man. We busy in here tonight. We got 21 people and 10 likes. People, give me a thumbs up if you're in here. Definitely helps the channel out. Creator, you've left pork rinds your bed. He's actually had me try different kinds. I have found so many interesting pork rind flavors. Working with X Men Well, him and I just went on a pork rind exploration one time. And where I'm doing carnivore, I'm kind of glad for it because now it's just like, hey, pork rind this, pork rind that. And yeah, he's just really up on his pork rinds. Although now we're just like experimenting with different ways to do pork and everything. Like um, I'm looking at doing some Jamaican jerk barbecued smoked ribs coming up, and he is just drooling to try those. Which I found a new jerk seasoning that I'm really loving. So yeah, and it's keto friendly, so it's going to be good for my carnivore 90-day thing I'm doing, which slimming up nicely, I think. I'm actually seeing it this time, which is weird. I usually don't see it. Usually you guys are like, Drake, you're getting skinny. I'm like, what? But now I'm seeing it. So, yay me. The physicals, man. Don't eat the ones you give them. Don't eat the ones you give them because they will take the energy from it, and then like energetically dead food, not really the best thing to put in your body. Um, ah, probably not because it jumped. The chat log is jumping a lot today. Accommodation. Wait. Um, is it natural for accommodation? I'm not following the question to be kind of possessive. She's some kind of. I think I've missed part of this, Timeless. So your dragons, if it's talking about your dragons, like if you choose, like if you don't talk to them and you ignore them for a time period, um, they take a lot of their job carries with it a lot of great weight and responsibility, and they set aside basically everything to work with us. Literally, it would be like taking your job, your education, everything, setting it aside so you could help someone do something. And that's what they set everything aside for us. And then if you turn around and ignore them for weeks and months on end, yeah, they can get pissy. Yeah, they can be sad about it because they honestly feel only one of you is committed to this. That is actually very doable. Some of them, it takes longer than others. Some of them, not so long. It just depends on the individual. Um, but that usually passes over pretty quick once you start diving back in and getting serious again. Dragon magic's not something you really dabble in because it is a friendship. It's a long-term friendship, especially that like most dragons, they will come and go at ease, but the Guardian and Co, they're basically, yeah, they're always there. You're no matter if you change gears or not. Regardless of path working, I there's not a day goes by where I don't speak with my guardians and co. Ah, crap! We jumped again. Maybe it's an age limit thing. See, I don't know. That seems weird, but I also get it like at the same time. So it's like I don't know. One of these days, I may actually remember when we're sitting around and have time to ask or think to ask because it's like I only think to ask when I'm not talking to them. And then by the time I'm talking to them, I got so many other things to talk about, even if it's just daily stupid events or whatnot, that I just go blank on it. Another kitchen. I don't know if that counts as kitchen witchery video. Let's see. That's if we're talking about the whole dragons drinking wine thing. If it's something else, I'm sorry, I missed it. And no, I think I missed the Hecate question, wherever it's at, hiding at. Uh, you buy the bag. Yeah, that's usually what I do, 50-50 there. Let's see. Let's see. Go Diego Do Drake. Would you recommend doing evocations in the astral if you live with Christian religious family? It's for the holidays only, or should I wait? Honestly, that's one of the beautiful things of the astral sanctum is you can just go there whenever you want. So my family, they're all still Christians. They do know what I do. In fact, my mom, it's adorable. My mom tries to understand what I do. She tries to be proud of me. Um, And she'll ask me questions, and I'll go to answer them. Like I'll get like 2, 3 sentences in, maybe 1 or 2 facts, and then she's like, "Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna have nightmares." And she'll wait 2 hours. She'll ask another question. It's adorable. She's trying so hard. Now, that's not to say that this has always been the case, because it hasn't. They have not always been so accepting. There was a point in time where they tried to give me the ultimatum, and it was like, well, if it's between doing what I want to do and doing what you all tell me, or live life without you, it's like, let me know when you change your mind. And I buggered off. And they quickly found out that I could bugger off. And then they realized, yeah, let's just let Drake be Drake. But that said, I do, when I'm home, when I'm visiting, whether it be for the holidays or what, wherever I'm staying, however long I'm living, I'm there. And I've even done this at a friend of mine who's a pastor. I will use astral evocation for a lot of things. Most things, actually, because it's just the simplest to do. However, there are times I've actually done full workings while in my mom's house, which she enjoyed. Well, she was okay with, because she asked me about it, but she was just like, whatever, as long as it doesn't stay here, and which it didn't. So I would recommend it just fine. I don't see no issues with it. And again, I know some aren't as, like accepting as my mom is, and some's even more accepting than her. Um, but it is the easiest way to avoid an argument. And honestly, when it's the holidays are really more about the family anyway. That's why you're freaking there. So why would you want to do anything that's going to cause an argument? Honestly, seriously, like if it was literally between spending time for the holidays with family and doing no magic, or not seeing the family, I would do no magic and see the family, personally speaking, because the holidays are about family. Nothing else really matters during the holidays. I mean, sure, Sabbats and whatnot may have marked the turning of the year for practicality reasons that honestly don't really hold a whole lot of water now. But ultimately, they were still about community and family. So that focus to me should always still be on those. So yeah, I see no problem with it if you want to do it that way to avoid arguments, because keeping the peace during the holidays is a good thing. And we got a super chat. Is that from Sela? Sela? I hope I got that right. If I didn't, my apologies, ma'am. What I say, ma'am, because the picture. What are your thoughts about working with angels for spellcasting? I adore them. I really do. Many of you know I'm actually getting ready to start a angel series. I actually do enjoy working with angels for spell casting. Archangel Michael is one of my favorites that I work with a lot. Him and I are really good bros, I guess you could call us. I do view him as a dear friend. I've worked with Raphael quite a bit. Some of you've heard in the past that I have had a rocky relationship with Raphael. But now, I mean, like him and I are like, just thick as thieves, which is still amazing, because the incident that him and I overcome our understandings actually was during the evocation course when I was doing an angelic evocation for him. I actually thought about cutting it, because it was a little awkward to have that emotional moment on camera. But then I was like, the whole point of working Dragon Mystic is being authentic and being real. So you know what? Screw it. We left it in. Raziel. So yeah, I love working with angels. Are they my go-to? No. Do I believe they're the pure love and light beings that so many people try to paint them as? Also, no. Uh, but I actually love working with them. I think they're great for spell working. I really do. And for those of you who love angels, I apologize for the delay on the angel series. I will try to get it up and running. In fact, with more focus trying to get the evocation course done, I'm looking at focusing on some angel videos as well as the Goetic series, because if we start weaving in some angels with the Goetic series, it'll be easy to get content to make sure we don't miss any weeks. And I think that'd be a good thing to do. All right. So yeah, and thank you for the super chat of $5, which, by the way, no, I didn't mention this at the beginning. Bad Drake. But any super chat of $5 or more, with or without a question, to support the channel, get you into free spell working every week. Well, for the week that you did super chat, for prosperity, luck, well-being, health, and general blessings in your life. So, mugs up to you. Thank you for the super chat and great question. Great question. We really could do to talk a bit more about angels on here. I actually once asked Michael, I was like, do you all ever get like a little uppity that I don't mention angels more on the channel? And he's like, no, not really. He's like, there's enough people talking. We're good over here. You talk dragons, you're doing fine. It's like, all right. Let's see. Eventually, your mind gets used to seeing beautiful things, even bad. Handle the feelings better. I'm sorry you got left out. If you're talking to me, that didn't bother me one bit. It really didn't. Creator, I have a question. If I dedicate a bracelet or necklace to a deity and ask the entity to charge it with its blessing, is that considered a totem or a blessed item? What's the difference between a totem and a blessed item? Whew. Okay, that's actually a great question, Creator. That really is. So, the term totem is used a little differently from time to time in different traditions. In some traditions, a totem is specifically a empowerment from a nature or animal spirit, not a deity. Usually, and most often, the totem is a animal spirit. Usually, but not always. And it's not like a totem as in like a guardian angel and advisor. It's literally the power and the instincts of, like, let's use a bear. It would be like that. And then by having that totem with you, you're carrying around that personification of that animal totem, and it can bestow upon you its wisdom as well as its instincts in times of need. Um, you There's also trance and meditations and whatnot you can do with this, often referred to as totem medicine or animal medicines. Again, this is I'm trying to generalize that because between traditions and differentials, it does starts doing all this, right? Uh, it really does. And then you get blessed item. What's the difference in a blessed item? Well, a blessed item can be blessed for many, many different things. It's not just necessarily like we're that animal spirit, that one singular animal spirit. You're pulling that animal's instincts to you. Um, One of the best examples of like totem medicine that I heard, which really freaked me out, but makes so much sense, is like a vegan that was working with a Native American shaman I know wanted to work specifically and only with wolves. That was the specific animal they were drawn to. The shaman made a very, his name's Joseph, so we'll call him Joseph. Joseph made a very specific point to tell that there may be certain aspects of this totem they may not like. It may bring changes to their life that may be conflicting, and they have to be sure that that's what they're wanting before they help them with this. They thought on it, they decided, yes, boom. Okay, then they went to it. Wasn't long before the vegans started eating meat because wolves are carnivores. And that brought up a tremendous amount of emotional turmoil and conflict and all these things. But it also brought upon lessons because the instincts of that wolf were with them. Now, with a blessed item, you're just carrying a blessing. It's almost good fortune. General blessings are just that. It's just almost like an aura of good fortune from that entity that you carry with you. It may protect you in times. It may give you good luck in times. It may give you great ideals in times. Blessing is a broad word, and a blessed item has that broad concept with it. Um, it can even bring on mistakes. It can bring on clumsy issues because it can bless you with knowledge and wisdom through the mistakes. So, see, it gets really complex in there. Um, So, but at the same time, blessed items can be very, very specific. So if you wear, let's say you wear a amulet or talisman of your religion for connection to your faith and protection. Let's say that. Well, that would be the two focused things. It would help create that connection. It would also offer some minor protection for you. I don't know if that answered your question, but I hope that answered your question. Um, yeah, there's been a lot of changes to the way monetization is working on YouTube. I don't fully know the details of it. I'm still trying to figure it out. Um, I've been told to be extra careful. YouTube's censoring more people. I, I'll tell you what I tell everybody. I'm going to be authentically me. I'm going to run a channel that isn't for kids, but it's not 18 and over. I'm going to stay right there in that happy little medium where I can reach the most people and do the best to share the best information I can share. And that is what I'm going to do. Now, am I stupid not to think of a backup plan? No. If you all notice below our newer videos, you will see we now have a Rumble account. And that Rumble account, we are posting videos, and Rumble has actually monetized us. So consider giving us a follow at Rumble too, just in case YouTube's like, hey, that weirdo over there, we don't like him. I don't think they will. YouTube ain't never had an issue with me yet. And maybe I'm just being hopeful. Maybe I'm being stupid and optimistic and all these other things people may accuse me of, which honestly, I'm usually the pessimist. But hey, this time I'm going to be the optimist. But give us a follow at Rumble. Help us out. Help the channel. I'm going to be uploading content over there more and more. So, yeah. And we'll still be here on YouTube. We're not going anywhere. Unless YouTube makes us, we're not going anywhere. We like it here. All right. The reason I ask, yeah, it's a question. You have to understand there are a lot of words that have a lot of similarities across different traditions and paths, and depending on how you specifically are meaning them, they could very well be the same thing, because there's a lot of people who view a totem as a blessed item only. So it depends on how you're using it. Like if you're using it in the way I described earlier, there is a drastic difference between the two. And the term totem gets thrown around a lot in places it probably shouldn't. Like I actually have had a person call that stuffed parrot on my desk. You know Ace, you've seen Ace, right? Everybody knows Ace. They called that thing a totem. Ace is not a totem. Ace is a stuffed parrot my daughter got me, and I keep it on my desk. And somehow, him and a skull have become mascots of my channel, and I still don't know how that happened, but whatever. They're fun. If he's a totem, he's a totem of Jimmy Buffett, people. I am a parrot head at heart. And oh, that reminds me. People, Jimmy Buffett passed. Like I heard about it today, I didn't mention it on the channel, but he has passed. Everybody, if you will, raise a beer, raise a glass of something for Jimmy Buffett one night. Anywho, moving on. Let's see. Appreciate. Angela's great with them nice responses. She really is. People, I wish I could be this nice little person who gives all these great, compassionate answers. That ain't me. I'm honest. I'm blunt. I'm harsh, but I'm genuine and honest. That's the best I can do for you. You always know where you stand with me. Okay. I would not want to see. Okay, if you, the dragons would rather you be authentically you and learn from them. But I see the LL, so you're probably joking. But I get that. Let's see, nice one. It is getting warm up in here. These filming lights are killing me. Angela, Ace and Bob are magical spirits of chaos, and Jimmy Buffett. I have had a skull named Bob in my room since like middle school. Like, oh my god, I'm old. It's been 30 years. Um, and of course, my sister introduced me to Jimmy Buffett. And honestly, everyone asks me what kind of music I listen to, and you all know I will say I listen to dang near everything. There's very few musics that I won't listen to, and it's not like genres or artists. It's more the songs, because the song has to be able to connect with me. It has to have a story. It has to have a meaning. I listen to music though, because I want it to move me. I want to feel something with it. I want to be able to relate to it. Dance music that just I can't do that, because there's no story. There's nothing to like relate to there. But that being said, the one artist in my life that if I tell this little electronic assistant over here that shall not be named, because it's going to try and do something, to play that artist, and I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that artist will play all day and I won't have to skip a single song, that would be Jimmy Buffett. It would. There's a lot of artists. I love a lot of their stuff. Hank Williams Jr. is a good example. I used to have the big master box collection. Actually, I still got it, of Hank Jr.'s stuff, and I love a lot of his stuff. I do. In fact, I can't think of one of his songs that I specifically say I don't like that one. But even Hank Jr., there's certain songs I just have to be in the mood for. I got to be right in that mood, or I just can't listen to it. It's going to skip it. Jimmy, I could just let his stuff roll. Somehow, some way, it relates to every freaking thing I do. Now, that's not to say I don't play other stuff. Five Finger Death Punch, Ozzy Osbourne, AC/DC, Smashing Pumpkins, Presidents of the United States of America, Lords of Acid, Lady Gaga. Yes, I listen to Lady Gaga occasionally. What are you going to do? Fight me? So, yeah. Music is a beautiful thing. But I will definitely miss that roguish bard. Oh, no. Jade is throwing clocks at me, people. That tells me that I have a meeting to get to. So I do apologize. I'm going to be heading out of here and getting ready for the meeting. Let's see if I got anything here I can clear up really, really fast. What, man? Jade is throwing clocks. Grab a riot shield. I have been looking for a way to make the plushies happen. I'm not going to lie, I have. So far, no luck. My apologies. All right, everyone, you have a fantastic and wonderful evening. I will see you later. I am going to try and crack a window, turn a fan on, and get these filming lights off because it's freaking hot in here. And once I get that done, I'm going to pop into an admin meeting to see how my admin are doing. Remember, have a wonderful week. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Don't give up. Just get up, dust yourself off, learn from the mistake, learn from the experience, and continue to move forward. And every day, do your damnedest to be just a little bit better than you were the day before. And if you do that, you'll be surprised how quickly that'll add up in a year. All right? Take care, everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye.